Alright, welcome back, Internet. I just wasn't playing the last couple of days. After New Year's, I've had my sleep schedule worked upside down. I don't know if that ever happens to any of you guys. I woke up at a normal time on Sunday. Um, Everything was fine. It's the weekend. I woke up like at, I don't know, 9 o'clock or something like that. Um, and of course, Monday was not a school day, so I can't do any substitute teaching on Monday. But I set my alarm clock for 6 a.m. Because, I should try and get up at a decent time the day before I have to start going back to work, right? And I don't wake up in time. I don't go to sleep. I'm awake till like 3 in the morning. I fall asleep for 3 hours. I wake up at 6. I get something to eat for breakfast, and then I go back to sleep. Oh man, Monday was just a wreck. I woke up like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then of course Tuesday I couldn't sleep at all because I was upside down. And Tuesday, I fell asleep at like 1 o'clock in the morning, woke up at like 3, so I got 2 hours of sleep, and then I was awake, and 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 I was awake. And at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm wide awake, and I'm like, I had 2 hours of sleep last night. I didn't look for any work on Tuesday because it was just, if I had tried, I would have I probably would have fallen asleep in class. Like, I would have been fired. Let's be honest, it was such a wreck. Got a little bit of wood. Hopefully we start gaining more wood, since now we get 2 more wood per tree. We'll do that twice, maybe even 3 times. Apparently that's expected. I think I mentioned that last time. I think I figured out that you're supposed to get silviculture. Sylvan, of course, meaning referring to woods and the trees. Let's go ahead and grab these. Hold on. No berries. Anyway, so because I'm totally upside down on my sleep schedule, I didn't make any videos. So I apologize greatly if anybody was looking forward to that, although I'm not sure anybody is. If I'm a couple of days late, that's not going to kill anybody. I think I have 2 viewers per video. Let's get some of these rocks and trees and stuff like that. May as well grab everything near the lake. Anyway, still a relaxing game. Been watching a lot of anime though. I don't know about anybody else, but I spent most of my vacation time watching a bunch of anime series. They kind of blend together after a while. I watched Osan, which in Japanese is kind of like a uncle, like Oji-san, but it's a shortened form of Oji-san, so it's Osan. So somebody that's an older guy, so it's about a guy that's in his 30s, mid to late 30s, and I'm like, hey, it's a show about me. And he goes out to fight monsters with the #1 guild in the world, and he becomes incredibly strong because they really put him through the ringer. So he gets quite used to brutal treatment in order to learn how to be incredibly strong. No, not that. Where's Sylvan culture? There it is. Wood lore. And then there's trailblazing. The silviculture is something else. Selective breeding, double-walled. Vermicast. Silviculture is here. 20% tree regrowth rate. Well, I think time is passing, so let's get back to the game. Hopefully that will assist us in gathering materials, because we don't have a lot of laborers. And we need a lot of wood. I'd like to upgrade this one of these days. Forestry. It's going to require things I don't have access to. 400 gold, I'll take it. Man, food is such a problem. At least now we've got beans and things like that growing, so we're gonna find that we're gonna have food coming in soon. We have chickens, so we're getting eggs. Didn't know they could eat grain. Things you learn. We had another place that I was building. Yep, right there. That's good. And these are farmers from other fields. Like, your whole force of farmers get together to make a field. I guess that improves the speed at which it's being crafted. I don't know how that works. There's a lot of stuff in this game that's left unsaid. But this is not going to replace this one. This one is, of course, for our clothing. This one is going to be for our animal feed. As we get more and more animals, you'll see us needing more and more animal feed. Let's build another barn. And that will make us get that work. Let's do nothing but wood. Right. Yes, I could always have done that, but I don't like leaving rocks on the ground. Do you guys have any sound out of this? I don't hear anything. Let's increase the music.
Hello there.
I don't want to make the music too loud because then you won't be able to hear me talking, because, you know, this isn't... I mean, it's a mid-grade microphone. I paid $40 for it, but it's a separate microphone from... Oh, we got another cow. 5 cows. A couple of chickens. Let's hire another person. No, we don't need another person yet for chickens. Crop assignment. We're going to grow hay. Grow hay. And grow beans. And as you see, hay doesn't impact the soil very much. It's pretty good. It's our 13. Okay. Anything for sale we need? We do kind of need another one of those. But let's buy it. Just because I don't want to be stuck without it later. actually have something for sale we really need. But we don't have the stables. Transfer it over. Once I get 50 of something, I'll usually transfer it over because you're not gonna run out. You're making far more than you need, and selling 50 of an item at a time is probably good. There's some other things we could use. Farthest, we got goat barn. We're building a regular barn. And a regular barn is probably more important right now because a regular barn can take. I can split the cows, which you can do with the chickens as well. I had so much stuff I wanted to build. And I can't because I needed the wood. Ah, bee sting.
Work to be done?
Leodin. We have meat coming in, chicken. Meat coming in, cows, but it's going to take a while before we reach the population cap. Let's hire a couple of more, because we've reached the halfway point, and then when it gets full, we'll hire the last 2 slots. But it also, as you noticed, increases the rate at which, you probably saw, it went from 1 to 2 a year. Having more workers increases the rate at which you get births. And you might be like, why don't you assign more people then and get even more faster births? Because we need people. We're struggling. We're really struggling, man. When we reach about 10, I'll hire a second chicken coop master. I mean, these are all farmers, right? You could call her a herder. What do you call a chicken guy? Cooper? A herder. They're all herders. He's a chicken herder. You're a little chicken. Is that an egg? No, it's 2. It's just a little chicken. Yay, our guy got cured of a bee sting. How nice for him. Do you nearby chopped trees? Herbs need trees. We are buying bread. Oh, he's the baker. He's bartering with his partner to buy bread. I guess so. Just because you're a baker doesn't mean you can eat your own bread. I guess you gotta buy it like everybody else.
Need something?
She had a lady to talk to. He's about ready to grow up. I'm Morin, gardening. Got a basic education. Oh, ailments. Let's get that kid a broken bone. At the very least. 57 wood. We're starting to really pack it in now. Oh, time, isn't it? Let's go up to here-ish. Yeah, let's not do that yet. We'll do one side at a time. Anyway, I hope you guys had a good New Year's and everything. Watched a lot of anime. Watched that time I got reincarnated as a slime. That one's a lot deeper than I expected it to go. Whatever. Watched a really dumb show I hated. Don't even remember the name of it. There was a decent one about a girl that gained the ability when she accidentally fell off a cliff. Before she splatted on the ground, she gained the ability to teleport to another world. She got it from apparently like a god that appears to her as a cat statue. But her desperation pulled it out of him. And so she has this, to him, minor ability to teleport between worlds. But to her, that's pretty major. So she teleports between Earth and a fantasy world, and she picks up items from Earth to sell in the fantasy world, and starts a business, making money. That one was fun. That one was really fun. It was like 80,000 gold for my retirement or something like that. But she hires mercenaries in it to teach her how to fight and stuff like that. It's pretty clever. Hire another archer. I would like to have 2 of each. Yes, that puts us in the negative, but I think we can manage a little bit of gold. Sold all those hide coats, and now we want more hide coats. We will make a lot more hides once we get this going to the point that they start slaughtering cows. I mean, the food hasn't come in. That's not gonna be. You can't eat that. I mean, the food hasn't come in yet. Still, that's just harsh, man. That's harsh. Keep this going. The milling keeps us going. 150 compared to how much baked. 730. Yeah, each guy is one baker. Each miller is one baker. The miller be millin'. I drink too much soda. I'm gonna be diabetic one day. Oh wait, I'm already diabetic. And this is diet soda. I forgot. I'm diabetic since I was 20. I was pre-diabetic at 20, I should say. I'm not even a fat guy, I'm a skinny dude. Where will these houses be? Oh, where can we put them? Here. We need more than 2, we do. Let's do just another neighborhood. Although I think we can just do that for now. We can start building a neighborhood out this way. I'm gonna keep this within the city limits. I've never done that before. I've always kept my dirty, filthy huts outside the city, but I think I don't want to do that anymore. Let's get another mill going. Food production. And then another bakery. It's a great spot for a bakery. Holy cow. It's kind of close to the other one, but no bakeries isn't bad. Yeah, I can dig it. Anything else we can sell? Pottery. Housing shortage, smousing shortage. Nothing I can do. Buckethead. I've already put them down for building, but we're waiting on the wood. I'll chop some trees down if you need it faster, punk. We may as well get another person. What else can we build that it hasn't been? I mean, that goat barn. Yeah, may as well. Like, which direction is this supposed to face? I don't know. I think so. I don't know which direction it's supposed to face. We are not going to do that because we need 60 for that. And that's already finished. Oh my gosh, I thought it was going to be like... But I guess we have so many... Okay, well, let's build it. I mean, this ain't gonna be built until that's cleared. Housing shortage. I know there's a housing shortage. Go cut down trees. Gee whiz. These guys are on the job. On the job. 87 wood per year. Oh my gosh, he shot that deer from all the way freaking over here, dude. Just had to check this dude. Creed. Go Creed. What a dude. let's start exploring. On the map. Plenty of workers doing nothing, so let's get them exploring. Maybe we can find treasure. Oh, look at that. Another lake. Do we have gold up here in this mountain? No. Maybe. Don't know. The mountain is bigger than I expected. Let us flatten this a bit. I don't know. Should that be a double? I think so. Defenses. I don't know if that fixes it, but hopefully it'll look better. Yeah, looking for something to do. This is a relaxing game. I know I've said that like 30 times, but it's a relaxing game. Look at that, they don't attack anything. They used to. You could get rid of it that way. Not anymore. It is immortal. I mean, if somebody sends this thing to a raider camp, they kind of want it to die. It just doesn't work in the city anymore. I mean, where are the oxen coming from? They're like 20 years old now. I don't think they're anywhere near 20. I think they're more like 14, but still. They were old when we got them. 72, we got one more. We got one more log. So we're ready to build into a homestead. Oh yeah. Duff man, can't breathe. Oh no. One wood will and they're building the gate first. Like the gate was just barely put up to complete, and it's already got 5 wood in it, and that already is done. Well, they're building wooden log cabin. Next level is brick houses. Well, at least I get free storage out of my cart that makes no sense. How many extra people do we have? Going back to work. Attack drained and emptied. Predators are attacking. I don't know where. Villagers chased predators away. Where is our villager? I don't see them. I do not see them. That's him, right there, right there, right there. Bang! Oh, I missed.
What is it?
Okay, you're fine, Lester. Lester. Thank you, Lester.
On it.
Let's get
Of
him.
course.
No,
As
no,
you wish.
No, you do not go near that.
Of course.
Well, let's get a hunter over here. Because if we can get a hunter that can survive these, that will be so cool. Okay. 84 too far, 72, 74. We're not going that close to that. Wolf den. 44 sounds about right. Let's do it. The road is a little wobbly, but it goes out into the wilderness. And anybody that goes out there deserves a wobbly road. Okay, let's see if we can build here now. Because we do actually need sand. Okay. Oh, wow. Just whipping through our wood planks like there's no tomorrow, but it's got a long time to go. We should probably have our wood planks around the time when it's built. 3 food! We have food again! We got somebody working. Go. Of course, we need plenty of grain to do that, but I think grain is the least of our problems. Yeah, 1373 grain, despite the fact that we have gathered no grain this year. So, yeah. Where's our, oh, there it is. It's all the way over there. Let's turn everything on. Might as well. That's no food. Let's not have food in it, because that doesn't make sense. Two children grew up. Here, we added a person for 1 extra chicken. Per year. Yay! We are about done with that. We'll probably be either harvesting or preparing for next year or something. I don't know. Doing something. Whacking the ground with sticks. Nice. Whack that ground with sticks. Storage is empty. Wonder if they didn't produce any food this year. Because it was just set up. I don't know. It's me. people. But I don't know why it goes up to 16. I don't know what the extra people does for the thing. I think what it does is reduce the amount of weed level. I think that's what it's doing, is reducing the weed level. What happens when it's 100% weed? Like, what does that do to your thing? Does that mean you get 0% of your items from it? I mean, I don't know. Let's go out and harvest, and there's nothing but weeds. It's 100% weeds. Somebody's sick. Typhoid. Soap. You have soap. Why don't you have soap? Shoot. We're gonna need one of these. Food. 6 months of food. Heck yeah, we're rich now. That guy went over there. Some nuts and food. And I want to have a guy out here that's working as a hunter. That's just a total badass who hunts wolves. I mean, sounds cool to me, right? And then we'll stick him on a thing so that he covers these 2 areas so he gets boars and wolves. Or she. Have a badass lady out there. That'd be so cool. She'd be like, oh, you're hunting deer? That's so cute. She goes out and kills wild boar. Oh, we're on the positive monthly gain again. It's the extra houses. Eventually, we're gonna be able to make pubs. And when you can make pubs, pubs generate money. It's so fun. But it's pretty fun because your people start coming home drunk, and you'll have your nights, and it'll say intoxicated, and you'll like be under attack by like 150 raiders are coming at you, and your guys are all drunk. It's awesome. And the more unhappy people are, the more they drink. It's really funny. Oh man. I don't know. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Oh, my fingers are on the wrong Gosh, what am I hitting? No idea. Well, and now they glow. I don't think they did that before. I think it was something I accidentally clicked. That'll be nice if we get goats that pop up in the menu, because then we'll have all of the major animals. We won't have horses, but I don't know that we can build the stables anyway. I think that's for later. Furniture workshop, brewery, brickyard, stable. We have to have a better trading post and cavalry tech. And I don't think we can get the trading post. Oh, I guess we can. New children born. Oh, we gotta build houses. We said that this was going to be a neighborhood out here, right? Let's split it off. Oh, that was serendipitous. Hey, look at that! More serendipitous than I realized. Let's build that next to that hut. Maybe we could have like a park or something like that right through there. Houses on either side. We'll figure it out. For certain. I think it's fine. We're not so much on an angle that not catching the road shouldn't be a problem. What I'm trying to avoid is like a step on the side of the road, because then that just makes your road look terrible. It's all about looks. It's all about looks. Is that person walking across Frozen Lake?
Need anything?
Bet they are. Nice. Don't know how that's a lake, but whatever, man. People aren't starving. We're building more housing. Loving the land. Maybe we should put houses up here so that they can look out over the villagers and gloat upon them. I should build like a single house up here with like fencing around it that's really fancy. That way when the raiders come this way, they break it down first. Still in the same year. Gee whiz. Oh, look at that shot. Ooh, yeah! Good job.
Work to be done?
It's Creed again. Creed is like the master. He is Creed the bow master. Man, I could never do that. Let's go Creed. It's already got stuff in it. Yeah, look at that. They're putting stuff in. Great. We should probably build a marketplace up here and a marketplace down here. We'll get to it. The villager has died. It's come to illness. Managed out of time. 43 is pretty young. As I get older, 43 starts looking young. Just wait until I'm 5,000 years old. People will be like, I'm 43, and I'll be like, what the? You're a baby! Baby, I'll be 5,000 years old one day. You better believe it. I'm not gonna die. I refuse. I will live forever just out of spite. Is 1 hour 1 year? This is gonna take forever if that's the case. It'll be 40 videos before we're done. Oh, we can do it. I should play 2 games at once. Didn't have any work today. I did chores. Cleaned the kitchen, went shopping, did some stuff around the apartment. Cleaned my fish tank again. Gotta clean it twice a week. I got a new filter for it though, so maybe it'll be better than the old filter. Don't know. My shrimp seem to be doing okay. I've got 4 of them. Little tiny, they're so small. They're little cherry shrimp and they're absolutely tiny. It's amazing that you have shrimp that small that people collect as pets. Pretty amazing. I'm gonna play a longer game today because let's get through this. I know nobody's watching, but you know, fewer videos is better because you get through it faster. Don't have to wait a month for me to finish this game. I can finish it in a couple weeks. Right? Maybe I could compromise and do an hour and a half. Who knows? There was a sale the other day. I bought, what's her name? Elspeth von Draken. So maybe I could start an Elspeth von Draken campaign. That'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Look at that plaza. Look at that plaza. Kids come in here and just sit. Yeah, I guess it's something to do. And we never see kids outside. It would be neat if there was like a dude out here standing lecturing, and then little kids sitting at the chairs. And little kids sitting out here. You never see them. As far as I know, they never actually go to school. It's like they go to school by telepathy. You're 17. Oh yeah, this looks way better. Look at that. And there's a little bit of a bump there. Let's get rid of that. Look at these little divots in there, but you know what? That's what it would look like if you're just shoveling off the side, and then material will fall from up higher, and then you shovel it away again. And it's kind of what it would look like. Oh hey, I forgot about that. It's only been like 15 minutes. I already forgot about it. You can imagine that I shouldn't forget about it, but you'd be wrong. Got 60. Oh, we're building this fence here too. That's where all the wood's going. How's that coming along? 50 left. Maybe taxes collecting. 8 people are cutting down trees. Other than the 4 people we have in the wood lore shop, whatever you call that, the work camp. It is kind of important, however, to build a fence. Even though this is taking forever. Oh, look at the cows. Cow. Grain and hay. Look it up. Look at that. Look at that. We have hay. How much hay we got? 276. Watch. Do chickens eat hay? Apparently, they do. Yes, I know. We're building it. Pretty low on firewood. So much wood is needed. So much wood. It's because we build everything, fencing and houses and everything out of wood. Don't build them out of brick yet. Don't got brick. Even if we did. New villager born. Because of the one who died last year. Typhoid. That wood. Need that wood. Need that wood. Need that wood. Need that wood. You guys ever watch Star Trek? The original series? I own it on DVD, or actually I don't even own it on DVD, I own it on Blu-ray. And it's a fun show to re-watch after, you know, how many years was it that I watched it when I was a kid? On reruns. Everything on reruns. I was not alive in the 60s. Not even remotely alive in the 60s. I was not even a twinkle in my mother's eye. Isn't that how that saying goes? Oh, the fresh fruit! 335 fresh fruit made last year. Nice. 222 fresh fruit made last year. People alive and healthy. Not just alive, but healthy. A doctor a day keeps the apples away. Isn't that how that saying goes? If you eat a doctor every day, you won't have to eat apples. I think that's how that works. Oh, we flattened it. Does that look better? Riding on a cart this way. Up here. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. I think that looks a lot better. How close are we to finishing that? 50 still. Let's build another cart. Oh, we got a salesman coming. right through the center of town. It's a dude. Maybe he has goats to sell, and we have nothing to sell to him, so we can't buy goats. Even though we finished the goat hut. Just our luck. At this point in time, I think we have enough extra stuff that we could really sell. Oh no, I want to sell this. Okay. Do you have goats for sale? What can we buy from him that we would need? I guess a couple of weapons. How many of these do I have left to sell? 72. Got 3 each. 300? That'd be 10. How are we doing? We're doing 5 for food. Let's buy them all. Oh, we got sure. Well, people buy shirts all the time. We do not buy herbs. And our storage will just fill up with herbs. 5 animals born. 7, so let's finish that off. It's on the upper side. Workers left. Grown up. Maybe those are the 2 we assigned.
What is
16, they are.
What needs
16,
doing?
they are. The 2 that just grew up just got assigned to work. Predators are attacking. Run! Run, little man,
Work
run!
to be done?
Run, little lady, run!
As you wish.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. He's eating her.
Will do.
They used to eat them and then there'd be no body. But they took that out.
Done.
They still eat them. But the body remains.
Done.
Is that a bird that just flew by? Or cardinal?
On it.
Where are the others?
Hello.
What the crap?
Of course.
I totally told you to go over there so we could
Done.
kill this wolf, and you went back to stock meat. You're coming too. Don't know who you are.
As you wish.
Where's that
Will
wolf?
do.
No rabies. Oh yeah, baby, no rabies. All right, let's see what we got here for the salesman. Got a lot of pelts, but we can use pelts, right? Let's use pelts, I assume. How many people we got working here? Okay, we're filling that out. I know we have nobody to assign, but still, we gotta use those. Cobblers. How many cobblers we got? That's a pleasure. Well, at least we didn't get anybody with rabies. That was important. 7? We didn't have our animals born this year. Wonder if it's because we took the people away in order to fight that wolf, so that there weren't any animals born. It's unfortunate. Did it to ourselves if that's the case. Can't tell you. Don't know. Seeking medicine.
Hello.
Contaminated water. Have to get well. Where's the resources for that? Right there. They shouldn't be in a place where they can't access clean water. Righto. There's another one. Can't see them. Oh, it's another. That's a lady. Hey, hey! Pottery for sale. Roly poly pottery for sale. Huh. Anything we can buy of any use? Why, yes, there is. Let's buy a couple of swords. And let's buy a couple of halberds. Nice. You want to look at halberds? Huh? Because they're light, they only use hide? Nope, there they go.
At the ready.
Oh, look at that, they're going! Oh, they're going! Ain't gonna be wearing leather now. Look at that! Oh yeah, they got halberds! Oh, we sent a thing over here, didn't we, to build where it's a long way from being built. That's done. These are getting done. That's already done. Nice. Well. All we've got really is for this to wake up and finish. But where are our workers? Labor
Need anything?
Stockpiling fish? Stockpiling logs.
Work to be done.
I think that's pretty neat. I didn't know people go mourning. Well, there's probably somebody that they liked right there. A friend or family. Oh, wow. That is so cool. That's new. That's not something I need to do. I will forgive you for your time used if you go mourning. My dad passed away about 9 years ago almost. Less people working. What are they?
Work to be done?
55. Was he a general laborer for all of his life? And he finally got chosen for a specific job, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do that for the rest of my life. My great grandfather, my family made got together. My aunts and uncles and my mom got together, and they each contributed to writing a book about my great grandfather. So they all contacted family members that were still alive, got newspaper clippings, got a short autobiography he wrote. He wrote a 20-page autobiography when he was like 75 or something like that. And then stories that were passed down from people that knew him and whatever, to write a story of my great-grandfather. And I'm like, I am so much like my great-grandfather. Like, so many of the things that he did, I'm like, oh my gosh, now I understand my life so much better now. But when he was about 55 years old, he went back to school, got a law degree, and went and practiced law for the last 20 years of his life. And one of the things that he struggled with throughout his life was the fact that he refused to work for people that were dishonest. And so he bounced from job to job to job. He never kept a job for more than a couple of years, because as soon as he would discover that his boss was cheating people, he would quit. He wouldn't put up with it. He would just be like, I'm not going to work for you. You're a dishonest person. And so he left a lot of jobs, and he moved his family a lot, and he moved his family a lot, and he moved his family a lot. And it was around the time of the Second World War, and he went into the Second World War because he spoke Japanese. He went on a mission to Japan, a Christian mission to Japan. And he was there for 3 years. And he almost married a Japanese girl. He said in his autobiography, the 20-page one he wrote, he said he almost married a Japanese girl and brought her home with him. But he was worried that she wouldn't fit in the United States. And so, based on that, he decided to just leave her behind. So, his fear was that if he married her and brought her home, that people wouldn't accept her. Don't know whether that was the right thing to do or not. You know, it was, the 1940s or whatever, just before the war. And then when the war broke out, the military showed up on his doorstep. You speak fluent Japanese, you're coming with us. And they signed him up for the war. And he was a translator through the whole war. And he was on the battleship Missouri for the signing of the armistice, because he was the translator for MacArthur. And
yes?
Kid praying. Nice devout kid. Devout. Not devout. They grabbed both of the swords and the halberds. I wonder if one of these people needed a sword. So he was at the signing of the armistice, and he was MacArthur's translator. MacArthur refused to have a translator. He expected the Japanese to translate everything into English, and him not to have to listen to the translations and to English from Japanese. He just was like, I'm going to tell him what to do. I assume. The only thing that he did was before MacArthur did that, when he was on the boat and they came into the harbor, before they would go into the harbor, they wanted to know if the mines had been cleared. And so my grandfather was tasked with calling out to a fisherman in a boat whether or not the mines had been cleared. And so he called out in Japanese to this fisherman on the boat, and he said, "Have the mines been cleared?" And the fisherman assured them that the mines had been cleared. And he's told that to the officers on board, and that's when they landed. That was it. That was his only time he translated at all at the armistice. Because like I said, MacArthur didn't want a translator. He was like, nope. I'm just going to tell them what I want, and they're going to listen. And so there's a photograph that was taken of all of the senior officers on the signing of the armistice. The captains, the admirals, the generals, they were all lined up, on the battleship. And the photographer saw this guy that was a lieutenant commander. And he kept trying to get my grandfather out of there, my great-grandfather out of there. He's just a lieutenant commander. And he repeatedly said, nobody would be here without me. And because he didn't want to be taken out of he wanted to be in the picture. He was like, I'm the translator, nobody would be here without me. And so the guy put up with it, finally took the picture. So he's in that picture. If you ever look up armistice photograph, Battleship Missouri, he's in that photograph. And we have no idea which one he is. We can't tell. We have photographs of my great-grandfather from before the war and from after the war. So maybe we can use AI to figure that out. Maybe we can shove it through ChatGPT and have it decide which one he is. I don't know. But I assume that as time goes on, AI will be able to figure out which one is my grandfather, my great-grandfather. And then after the signing of the armistice and everything was done that evening, he asked if he could go to shore. And his commanding officer, or the captain on the ship. Oh, by the way, MacArthur told him to go find lodging, that they wanted to have a celebration, and to go find a hotel where they could stay at for the evening. And because they were going to have a celebration, they were going to have, pop open the champagne and have a celebration for the signing of the armistice. They didn't want to do it aboard the ship. And so he said, okay. And so he went to shore with a guard, and he found a hotel, and he went in and he says, hi, we're here, we're looking for lodging. Can you accommodate 20 to 40 American soldiers, these are generals and admirals and stuff like that? And she says, we have no electricity. Nobody in town has electricity. And the food isn't going to be very good. We've been eating grass. She literally told him, we have been eating grass. And we're glad that the war is over because we can finally eat. And we can finally get food. And he said, we'll bring our own food. We've got our own food. You don't need to. If we bring the food, will you prepare it? And she says, well, absolutely. And so he paid for the accommodations, and then he went back to shore. And this is the same day after the signing of the armistice. And he went back onto the ship, and that's when MacArthur gave him his own room. He's like, I'm giving you my room. It's the best room on the ship. And he's like, okay, why? He's like, well, I'm not going to be using it. I'm going to be on shore. I'm going to be in the hotel. So if you ever go to the Battleship Missouri and you want to see the flag officer's room on the Battleship Missouri, and my great-grandfather slept in there for several days. He was there. He doesn't say exactly how many days, but he says for several days he was in that room because MacArthur wasn't using it. The ship was in port. They weren't going anywhere. And my grandfather couldn't leave. My great-grandfather, he couldn't leave. He had to stay right where he was. And so after that, he told his officer, he says, I would like to go to shore. It was the same day. It was later on in the evening after he found accommodations. He's like, I'd like to go to shore. And the guy looked at him and says, what do you want to go to shore for? And he goes, you understand, I used to live here, right? I lived in Japan for 3 years. I know these people. That's why I speak Japanese. And I would like to travel around and see Japan and visit some of the places where I used to live. And so he gave him a jeep and two guys to guard him, and he refused. He's like, you give me guards, they'll shoot at me. I don't want people knowing I'm military. So he wore civilian clothes, and he got on his jeep, and the officer would not let him go. I don't remember if it was MacArthur himself or if it was another officer, would not let him go to shore without a driver. He says, you are not going anywhere without a driver. And then there was a Catholic priest that came up to him and says, I'm with you because I used to live here too. I speak Japanese because I'm a Catholic priest. And so the two of them traveled around Japan together for a few days, and then they separated because my great-grandfather was in like Sendai, and the Catholic priest was in like Osaka. And so they separated from each other and went their separate ways and visited different people that they knew. So my great-grandfather lost the Jeep, essentially, and had to hitchhike across Japan. And while he was around, he says he kept getting asked to speak at colleges. A bunch of colleges kept, an American walking around Japan is going to be pretty conspicuous. And so they knew he was associated with the military in some way, despite the fact that, as he said, he was wearing civilian clothes because he didn't want to be shot at. And I don't think he would have been shot at. I honestly don't think he would have. I don't think there was people that wanted trouble after the war. I think they were starving. I don't think they were gonna take that chance. Yeah, we didn't get any cows this year. What happened, and that's because we moved our people out to go fight a wolf. So, yeah, it's a very interesting, series of letters and stuff like that they used to put together this story that he wrote to people back home and things like that. And when he got back to the ship after spending several days, he says he didn't meet MacArthur again, I don't think, after that, but he was offered, they wanted to make him what's it called? Because he was Navy the whole time. So he was on the Navy track. Despite the fact that he was never in the Navy, right? I mean, he's a civilian that they came up to and were like, we're putting you in the armed forces. And they threw him in the Navy. That was the track that they put him on. So the Navy wanted to make him an officer in the Navy, a higher ranking officer, like commander or something like that. He was a lieutenant, I think, before, but they wanted to make him a commander or something. And then have him work the next 5 years as a translator as they were setting up all the bases and everything like that in Japan. And he was like, I'm going to go home. I have a wife, I have children, I want to go home. And he says it didn't make sense to the guys there because these are all career guys, And they're like, but this doesn't make any sense. You're gonna be rich. You're gonna have prestige, And we're gonna make you a commander now, but you're gonna be going up higher, You could go even higher in the military than this. And he didn't want to. He wanted to go home. So he did. He went home. And they didn't want him to leave. So when they were telling him to leave, they told him he had to take civilian transport because there was no military ships that would take him back to the United States. And he was like, I knew that wasn't true because I could see ships leaving port. So he could see these ships leaving port because they were heading back to like Hawaii and whatnot, and he's stuck trying to take civilian transport. So he got on a ship, and he was on this ship, and it was delayed, and it was delayed, and it was delayed, and he wasn't sure whether it was his fault that it was delayed because they kept trying to convince him to stay. They didn't want him to leave. So he was like, I don't know if this ship was delayed because of me or not, but he finally jumped overboard. He's like, I'm not gonna put up with this. If you're gonna delay me any longer, I'm done. So he jumped overboard on the ship, swam to shore, got on a different ship, and got to Honolulu, and then from there he took another ship to Los Angeles. That's how he got home. But that was, you know, he was in the military for 4 years. 1941 was when they picked him up, and then 1945 was when he got to go home. And that was the longest he had ever had a job in his life up to that point, because he had always quit other jobs, and he'd always quit them because he wouldn't put up with their crap. You know, he found out that one of the guys, they would pick fruit, and they would get paid according to how much pounds that they picked. And they discovered that he was cheating them by he was using incorrect weights. So they went out, and he got actual weights. He borrowed them from somebody else, true weights, and then used those in the thing. And the guy got so mad that somebody had switched his weights that he fired him. Who switched their weights? And accused him of whatever. But he's the guy that's doing it. You know, my great grandfather was the one that got the true weights. Proved this guy was cheating. The guy's gathering fruit. So yeah, that's the type of person my grandfather was. He wouldn't put up with crap. And I'm like, man, I'm the same way. Okay, let's get this to about. Is it about there? Or there? There or there? Let's do it to there. I think that might be too far. It is not. That is perfect. We can't make it perfectly round, but we can make it soccer ball shaped. We can make a hexagon. And this place isn't building because rock removed. 42, so that's gonna take forever. We've already assigned everyone. Those 17 people came in. We've already assigned them all. Oh boy. But we're making a lot of food. We're making a ton of food compared to what we were making before. And that's good. And 2 of the 3 people we have working are chopping into that rock. What is that? Is that like... It's supposed to be granite or something? Is it limestone? Is it supposed to be granite? Did it come off this mountain here? I could see that. I could see it rolling down. Definitely. You know, getting out all the way out to here, that's going to be a bit of a travel. But getting out that far, yeah, I can see that. Need more tools. We've run out of tools. Oh, there's nothing we can do about tools for now. We'll wait till the end of the year and then I'll close up for the week. All the stories we have. I should tell someone that I've written 6 books. I've written 6 novels. 7 novels, I forgot. I've literally written 7 novels and published none. I should start reading them. Would anybody like to hear me reading my own novels? Nobody will publish them. I've sent one of them out to, oh gosh, it must have been 30 or 40 publishers. And one person that was an agent that I sent it to, and I asked, why I'm having trouble, and she was very nice. She sent me a thing back, and she says, you have to understand, we get tons of stuff like yours all the time. The European fantasy is like overdone. We just get too many submissions of Western fantasy, of European fantasy, and so you have to really, really stand out and be extraordinary in order to be picked up if you're writing Western fantasy. What we need is people writing like Afro spiritualism, East Asian fantasy, Native American fantasy works. That's what we want to see, because those are interesting and new. We don't want more of the same of what we already get. And then she also said that they're also more interested in LGBTQ. They're more interested in minority writers and minority perspectives. And so you're struggling. And I understand that. That makes sense. I mean, it sucks, but she makes sense. She makes a good case. They just get too many European fantasy, and they get too many of the white male voice, and it's not interesting because, when you get 30,000 of them, there's not much room there for new authors to grow unless you're exceptionally good. So despite the fact that I've written 7 novels, and I would expect somebody to be really interested in a writer that's written 7 novels, it appears that my genre is simply the wrong genre. And my voice is the wrong voice. And I'm not telling stories about, a young black male growing up in a fantasy neighborhood kind of a thing, And I don't have that perspective. And so, it's not as interesting as it could be from a different voice, a different perspective, a different protagonist than what you'd normally read. My protagonist is a girl, and I would call up my grandmother, and I'd call up my aunt, and I would ask them questions, and I'd be like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Would a girl do this? Would a girl do that? Because I wanted to make sure that, I don't want to write a girl's perspective. Ooh, look at that arrow. Bam! He is the GOAT.
Hello.
Creed, man, you are freaking awesome, Creed. I like how it's raw meat for food. Go, Creed. How is our food situation? Do we have a lot of raw meat in the food? Not much. Not much. I don't want people eating raw meat. It makes them sick. Well, it has a high chance of getting them sick. So, I understand where she's coming from. It sucks, but I understand it. And this is why, also, and we know this for certain. We know this. We've done experiments on it. We've looked at the data on it. We figured out a long time ago that when you have alternate voices in your company, if you run a company, like if you are doing, if you're selling widgets, right, and all of your people in R&D are males, white men, that you are missing the ideas of women, you're missing the ideas of minorities. Like, what if you're making combs for men, right? And you're making all these combs, and you practice on your own head, and you practice on your friends' heads that are all white males. You won't realize that your comb is a substandard comb for black men, right? Because their hair is not the same as yours. And so you are losing out on selling combs to black men because you don't have any black men in your R&D department. There was a thing in the newspaper just a couple of years ago that requested, it was like literally somebody put in the opinion paper in the newspaper, local, and obviously this isn't a real, it's a website, it's a news website that is a local news website newspaper, and they said in the opinion thing, they said, look, we need some barbers in this area that are trained on how to cut black men's hair, because they have black men that'll show up at a barber and the barber will look at them and say, I don't know how to cut your hair. And they're like, do you know of a barber that can? And they're like, I don't know, maybe Jimmy does. And then they send it to Jimmy, and hopefully Jimmy knows how to cut black hair. And it's like, this is terrible. Can we get some people here in the area that know how to cut black men's hair, please? Because it's a problem. And so when you lack the perspective of those people, you do not sell as well, because you are missing out on a key demographic. You're missing out on population numbers. If you just want to look at it this way, it is a population numbers game, right? So they have proven again and again and again and again and again that diversity, equity, and inclusion, which everybody thinks is a dirty word, diversity, equity, and inclusion. They look at this and say, you've got to stop these DEI hires. You need to hire only the people that are best at their jobs. And when you hire for DEI, you make more money. We know this. We have proven it. So all of these efforts to get rid of DEI are actually hurting businesses and saying only the top people should be in charge is code word for we are racists and we think only white people should have these jobs. And we know this because when we got rid of DEI hires, they sure did fire a lot of women and black people. So it's kind of obvious what you mean when that's who you fire, right? We know exactly what you mean. You're fooling nobody but fools. Let's build another. Where's that? I want to have like a temple around here. So let's. Tools. I understand. I do not have the ability to get tools. Nothing I can do. Is it too far away? Oh, I don't think so. Like, seriously, the Department of Justice fired like black people that have been working there for 15 and 20 years in some instances. And it's like, why did you fire these people? Was it a performance issue? No, they were a DEI hire. Really? So because they were hired 15 years ago, that means they can't do their job now, despite the fact that they've been doing their job for 15 years. And probably know more about it than other people that have been working there for 6 months or a year or whatever. Why don't you fire those guys? No, they fired the black dude because he's a black dude. It's pretty obvious what you mean when you say they're getting rid of DEI. It means you're a racist and think only white people can do the job. Anyway. We'll finish out this year. I hope you learned something. How many people we got working? 12. We have 12 now. I think it was, I guess, builders? Bunch of builders? I guess. I don't know. I don't remember. Wasn't paying attention. So yeah, we've already long ago proven that DEI actually helps businesses make more money. We know it for certain. I would spend it. Well, our new year is coming. And once it comes, we'll go ahead and save it. It should be year 18. Year 18. 1497. But we can go ahead and save it. Here on Mudsford number 4. Ratsylvania. That was such a fun name. I wanted something as fun as that. Mudsford sounds just awesome though, so I like it. Anyway, that's the video for today. We're at about an hour and a half. I think that's a good time to quit. It is a slow game, but we have plenty to talk about. And if you want to hear me blather on about different things, you can join me anytime. Thank you very much. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.